Hello, everyone. This is Meredith Prater, and I will be presenting to you today on a program called ALS PALS and building social emotional competence, particularly resilience, using this program. This program is aimed for early childhood education settings, and this is a program that we use in the school where I teach and that I have used in my classroom. So I was really excited to dig a little deeper into the research about this program and how it relates to what we've been studying this semester. So first looking at social emotional competence in general, and then we'll touch a little bit on resiliency specifically. But for social emotional competence, research is giving more and more support to the recognition that gaining social emotional competence during the preschool years is critical for future success. This type of competence predicts adult success. It is necessary for school readiness, and social emotional competence during the preschool years predicts school success in the future, regardless of cognitive ability or family background, according to Denham. This has implications in early childhood for curriculum choices, for family school partnerships and education, for classroom structure, and for the types of school readiness evaluations that are done, which then again, those evaluations will go back to inform curriculum that's used in the classroom. According to Hay, relationships with peers have their roots in the very earliest years of life. Between the ages of 3 and 5, social skills and social competencies begin to develop. And Hay also found that toddlers' peer play competency predicted social competency at ages 3 and 9. Just again, going back to indicate the importance of early development of these skills. Wu, Hu, Zhang, and Zhang defines social emotional competency as the use of acceptable behavior to socialize with others and to foster positive interaction. This includes skills, abilities, anything that is necessary for successful social interaction. Certain skills and abilities that go together to make up social competence include assertion, cooperation, empathy, and self-control, as well as self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, and decision making. Resiliency is one aspect of social competency that is particularly focused on in the ALS PALS program. Resiliency is related to the ability to persevere despite adverse experiences, which children will all face, but some in much more significant amounts than others. And child characteristics related to resiliency are the most directly accessible for intervention by teachers in schools. There are characteristics within the family, within the larger environment, and we're about to touch on that some more, that will impact children, but the most accessible for school interventions are going to be the within child characteristics. In considering framework through which to view the development of these social emotional competencies, Bronfenbrenner's bioecological theory provides one lens for viewing this. We have this little diagram here that shows all the different rings or different layers of this theory, but the microsystem of the school and the family interact most closely to directly impact the development of social and emotional competence. Additionally, the effective social competence model developed by Halberstadt, Denham, and Dunsmore offers a three-component framework for viewing the development of social competence. One part is the awareness and identification of self, peers, and adults. And a second part is to function within a changing social environment. And the third part is the regulation and management of personal emotions and reactions to others' emotions. In a literature by Al-Zarani et al., was found that teacher and student relationship has a significant impact on young children's development, and that adult interaction, and this the context we're talking about specifically, interaction with teachers, is a crucial promotive factor in the development of social competence. The teacher-student relationship impacts interaction with peers in the classroom. It impacts child and adult communication, the expressions of emotion, self-regulation, empathy, and motivation. Nurturing adult interaction is a very significant promotive factor. And yet again, empirical study by Miller and Keel indicated a likely bidirectional effect between emotional competence and school success. In a study by Miller and Kell, teachers named social competency as a very significant factor for successful kindergarten adjustment. And Webster, Stratton, and Hammond noted in their study that parenting harshness was found to be the most significant risk factor for children's development of social competency, and a very strong protective factor was then found to be nurturing and warm parenting. So the role of harshness versus warmth in parenting has been found to be significant, as well as in teacher interaction. While causality was not determined, the same study by Webster, Stratton, and Hammond indicated that low social competence was likely an antecedent for behavior problems. And Sheen et al. Observed in their work the interplay of genes and environment in developing social competence, which ties in with Bronfenbrenner's bioecological model and the impact that the environment has on the child and what they bring to the classroom. Dmitrovich et al. Found in studies that they synthesized in a meta-analysis that social-emotional competence is malleable, and indicated social-emotional learning to be the process by which this competence develops. So one such social-emotional learning program, the one that I looked at, is ALS PALS, Kids Making Healthy Choices, that is targeted for children ages 3 through 8. It is often and generally used as a universal preventive intervention, but it can be used as a targeted intervention for children with high risk factors such as multiple adverse childhood experiences. The program consists of 46 short lessons, approximately 15 minutes each, and is delivered by the classroom teacher. ALS PALS is made up of strategies called guide skills that are used to bolster these social and emotional competencies. It bolsters protective factors such as self-awareness, managing feelings, and problem solving. Teachers lead lessons that include discussions, role play, activities, and songs, and concepts are reviewed throughout the year in subsequent lessons after initial introduction. Puppets are used. Al and his friends Ty and Keisha are used to teach many of the lessons in a child-friendly format, and I can attest through personal experience that they're very engaging for the children to deliver the lessons with puppets. Throughout the day, tips are included in the lessons that are there to support teachers to extend the learning beyond formal time into informal classroom interactions to really help the children connect what they're learning in the lessons with successful use of the different strategies throughout the day. The intervention is designed on the basis that social emotional competence, part of which is resiliency, is malleable and can be fostered through the presence and the guidance of a warm and nurturing adult as a promotive factor. The logic model of the program indicates that these lessons on social emotional learning, as well as a nurturing classroom environment, lead to increased resiliency, increased problem solving, more positive relationships, while also lowering antisocial and problematic behaviors. And as we will see in a few minutes, there is research indicating that these things are happening within the program. A study by Lynch et al. That was longitudinal over the course of 3 school years in 3 different schools studied the impact of ALS PALS in classroom use. So the child behavior rating scale and the teacher report of child coping were both used to measure results. And the results from all of the studies showed that children in the ALS PALS trial group had higher ratings for positive coping, as well as decreased levels of negative coping, and that there was a significant classroom level positive improvement in pro-social skills in the trial groups. And interestingly, the control classrooms showed an increase in behavior problems and no gain in positive behavior. The program did seem to act as both promotive for pro-social skills as well as protective against an increase in problem behaviors. Tamaklo et al. Studied teachers' experiences implementing the program. Teachers noted that strong coaching significantly increased their confidence in implementing the program. It's a simple program to use, but teachers found that having training and coaching through using the program really helped them be effective in implementing it well. And teachers and parents in this study both reported increases in social emotional competency, specifically self regulation and self control, in the classrooms where it was implemented.